will see Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers taking on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
We are just a couple miles east of the LAX airport, just off the 405 or the 105 at the beautiful SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers. Andre Roberts now to return it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And he is just absolutely marvelous to watch throw a football. That's something I could do all day long, watch him throw routes versus air. But he's even more impressive when their body's on the field, and he's creating with big throws downfield.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Working with a 2nd and 4. Out of the gun, Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On 2nd and 12, Herbert over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Herbert now. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
Not the desired outcome, but probably won't be the last time we see him take a shot downfield.
4th down, and on is Ty Long to punt. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw pulled in by Robinson here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They'll run for the first time with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Throwing now is Mahomes. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he's taken down inside the 30.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Eluding the pressure right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Man open is Robinson. And they'll get this down to the 10.
I have no crystal ball up here. I can't truly see into the future. But if they don't start getting some pressure on him, make him move around a little bit and do something with the receivers to, change up their timing, they're just going to get shredded as we've seen so far. Right now, they're off to a blazing start.
Yeah, and you are right. He looks way too comfortable back there in the pocket.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a pillow back there for him, all right? As a defensive guy, they've got to dump him on his backside a few times, shake things up.
Yeah, they're going to need an in-drive adjustment here on this first series. Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Now Mahomes. Going right side here, and that's complete. Touchdown! Mahomes finding Tyreek Hill. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And Roberts choosing not to bring this one out. The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
Here's Ty Long now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Hardman on a return.
Another miss.
Still on his feet. Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Mark that down as an 85-yard punt return. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
Butker on for the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. Roberts electing not to try it, and this will come out to the 25. L.A. set to take over again on offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They started on the ground with Eckler. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up the touchdown.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Herbert's throw taken in by Cook. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
A shotgun snap for Herbert. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Defense.
So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
And now the Chiefs will bring the offense onto the field as they'll go for 2 here. Mahomes will throw for it. And he's got it. So they try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And Roberts choosing not to bring this one out. Justin Herbert leading this unit out for their next possession. The second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Running on first down, Eckler. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On the give, this is Eckler. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
some of the most unselfish players on any football team? Defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they followed him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Herbert. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Meanwhile, Herbert's throw going into the hands of Williams. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Kelly to try to punch it in. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Joshua Kelly taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Chargers are able to close the gap just a bit. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. And it's good. It makes it 22-7 now. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Kansas City taking the field for their 2nd drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time, but now it'll be 3rd down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, That's pretty tight.
Now here's the call. So that challenge, a successful one. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
That's out to Hill, right side complete. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on fourth down. They'll go. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. They go play fake. Mahomes. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away. All right, Captain, let's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on third and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
So we've reached halftime. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. Taken in at the 3. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. And the Chiefs ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime. And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off. Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Here's Mahomes to throw. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Butker now to add the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Roberts electing not to try it, and this will come out to the 25. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And here's a throw that's taken in by the tight end Cook. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. Over the middle, complete. It's Cook. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And Herbert able to get this one to Eckler out of the backfield. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover it before he gets going.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run. So I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And this is going to be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Well, that field goal block pretty much sums up the day for them, doesn't it?
Boy, it really does. What's the word we often use? Symptomatic. It's just been a sign of how this one's gone.
Give a lot of credit to the guys who got in and blocked the kick. They've had the advantage all game, and they continue to press it.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On the move to his left. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground, incomplete. 3rd quarter now from SoFi Stadium. Here's a 2nd and 10. On play action, it's Mahomes. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They go play action. Now Mahomes. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. It's a big play there for the Chiefs.
Frankly, I don't know that this defense knows what to do anymore. Just look at their body language out there. The passing game has absolutely been relentless throughout.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Steps away to his left. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he's going to bolt his way into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs take the blocked field goal and convert it into 6 points. Butker on for the PAT. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Here's the all-pro returner from 2018, Andre Roberts. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Charger drive about to get going. The last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. It was Frank Clark that time who got in there to bring him down. Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. Another try after the first down sack. Herbert, right side, caught by Jackson. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. The Chargers on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Williams. 20. Touchdown, LA. Williams, 73 yards. And the Chargers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. There aren't any speed limits out there, and off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to 22. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. The Chiefs on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Now Edwards-Helaire. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Credit the sack to Joey Bosa. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage, and that time they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
To throw again on 2nd down. Herbert toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this one is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
They're certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the 4th quarter.
Out to his left. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
They'll try to run with Edwards-Helaire.
And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. 2nd and goal from the 1.
One more time with Edwards-Helaire. And this time he is in.
Yes.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us. We're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Roberts on the return.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. And the LA offense ready for this next possession.
They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Herbert.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of
trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Mahomes going to throw it here. A quick slant to Hill. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. Working with a 2nd and 3. Mahomes going to throw. And quickly into the hands of Robinson. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Mahomes now on 1st down. This is caught. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry.